Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, April 24th of 2022. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. Today's topic is from that question, that existential question that I think most of the people who join this call have probably heard inside themselves before, that sometimes comes with a WTF is going on here. Do I really belong on this planet? I don't feel like I fit in here. This seems so foreign, the way that this world has evolved into being, the way that people act with each other and with nature and with all of this creation, and I just feel out of place. Do I really belong here? Do you really belong here? So we're going to be looking at this question today, and God willing, by the end of this, you will find some alignment with your own innate wisdom, the truth inside of you, the part of you that knows, and that's why you question. And God willing, you will have a clearer perspective on the true reality and hope and strength as you align with your truth to be in this world and to be that beacon of light that holds the truth and the hope. That's the plan for today. So let's go ahead and come into our meditation and healing circle. Let's come together sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together in our circle. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, let's bring all of your focus to the center of the circle. Your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your heart, your belly, your hips, your presence. Bring everything to face into the center to be present. And let's join together from here as we call on the one, the all that is, the source of the all that is, and the all that is as well. And let's ask. We ask you to send your pure divine light, the light of illumination that illuminates knowledge, that illuminates truth. In the Sufi teachings, the teachings of light and darkness pertain to that which is known and that which is not known, that which is in the light or illuminated and that which is in the dark or not yet illuminated. Everything is from the one. Everything is contained in the mercy and in the compassion and in the love. And there are things that have been illuminated, knowledge that has been illuminated, and knowledge that has not yet been illuminated. So let's call on that pure divine light. It is a cleansing, purifying, illuminating light. Just imagine this vibration of light. Ya Nur. Imagine this vibration of light streaming in to the center of our circle, illuminating, bringing this light, infusing this light, and allowing this light to enlighten everything contained within, that which we are ready to be awakened to or have knowledge of. Is everything in its perfect timing, its perfect order. So this welcome in this pure divine light, and to bring all of your senses to be met with this light, your sense of sight. Let this light penetrate your eyes and cleanse your pathways of seeing. Let this light meet your ears and penetrate your ears and your pathways of hearing. And let this light penetrate your nose and your pathways of smelling. And let this light penetrate your mouth and your tongue, your pathways of tasting and feeling and texture. All of the sensations that we have with food and the things that enter our mouth and our palate. And let this light shine on your skin and permeate through your skin, through your pores, into those nerve endings and travel through your electrical circuitry, through your nervous system, and cleanse and purify all of those alerts that hang out in your nervous system waiting to be called into action, that perhaps are no longer relevant for you and not needed for your present day experience of this world, especially those that keep you from being present with what is before you in this world and trusting in your own innate wisdom and strength. Let this light meet all of these parts of yourself, cleanse and purify your sensory organs and your nervous system, and take a deep breath. Just breathe this light into your system, all the way into your core. Let it just settle your nervous system, cleanse, release the alerts, and let yourself settle into your body. As you exhale, just let yourself land into your physical space. Land into your physical body. Big breath. Exhale and land. And just let your being settle into your body. You know, and if you've ever been told that you're just a straight up weirdo and that you don't fit and that you are some freak that doesn't belong here, or you're, my favorite words, too sensitive, or you need to toughen up to make it in this world, be like everybody else, any of those places that are holding on to those voices, just let this light of illumination travel to those places and shine on them. Shine on the part of you that holds that barrier in your system, that barrier to your own truth and to your permission to be your truthful, sensitive, wise being on this planet, in your body. Just let this light shine on those places as well. Big breath, and as you exhale, just land into your body and settle. Just invite your nervous system to settle. And again, just bringing our focus to the center of our circle where we all come together. And again, let's call on our source. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your vibration of your unconditional love and allow all of those places inside of you that we just mentioned, all of those places that have ever been told that you don't belong here, that you don't fit in, that you're too sensitive, or any of those other things that perhaps we have all heard I know I certainly have. Any of those that said you have to toughen up, any of those that said you have to just go along with the flow and learn to get along, any of those, just let them receive this pure, unconditional love. This is a love with no conditions. The existence of love. It is a vibration. It is an energy. It is a frequency. Let those places in you be surrounded by this frequency of pure, unconditional love. Let those places be surrounded and held, and let this vibration, it's like let those places inside of you feel this vibration, and let those places inside of you begin to regulate to this vibration of pure unconditional love. This is a love with no conditions. You don't have to learn to get along first. You don't have to fix yourself first. You don't have to toughen up to or anything else. And it's okay if you feel sensitive. It's okay if you feel vulnerable. It's okay if you feel delicate. It's okay if you feel the pain that is inflicted in this world every day. It's okay to feel. And let those places in you, no matter what they feel or how they feel or don't feel, just let them be surrounded in this pure, unconditional love. Let them be surrounded. Let them be held. Let them be loved by the ultimate love and the ultimately loving. Let them be loved, and invite those places inside yourself to feel that love and to rest into that love. Be held by that love. And let that love, that vibration of love, begin to resonate. And let the vibration within these parts of yourself begin to resonate with the vibration of unconditional love. And you don't have to know the exact frequency and tap a tuning fork to attune yourself to it. Just allow this part of your being to be held in this love, and the wisdom of love itself will meet the innate wisdom within you, and your being will regulate and resonate with that love. You already know it inside yourself. It is a part of your innate wisdom. It's a knowing inside of yourself that tells you when things are off in the world. It's the part of yourself that's been talking to you all this time that knows the truth and knows why this world is not of the truth of love and peace and harmony. Not resonating with that which you desire inside yourself. So honor that part of yourself and allow that part of yourself to resonate with this pure, unconditional love and this light of illumination that illuminates the truth within you. Breathe that in. And as you exhale, just let yourself rest into it. Receive it, rest into it, and rest into your body. And again, let's bring our focus and attention to the center of our circle where we all come together as one. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your vibration of your eternal compassion. Ya Rahman, the ocean of living consciousness the ocean of eternal compassion, the cosmic womb of our entire existence. And let this ocean, the cosmic womb of our existence, the ocean of living consciousness, the true divine compassion, let this surround you, hold you, support you. Just imagine this ocean rising up from around you in a very gentle, loving, compassionate, containing way that is very nurturing and safe. And just let this come up around you and hold you, support you, contain you, protect you, nurture you, and love you. And as you breathe this in, let it permeate through your pores and all the way into the core of your body. And as you exhale, let yourself drop in and drop down and rest into this ocean of compassion. Rest into this ocean of compassion. And just let yourself be like the sponge in the desert that is dry, and let this ocean of compassion just be drawn in by your inner sponge and saturate and satiate your entire being all the way into your core. And as you breathe this light and love and compassion in through your body all the way into the core of your body, that central channel that runs through the top of your head and vertically all the way along the front of your spine and through your base. Let that be like a wick. And let that wick absorb in this water from this unconditional love and compassion all the way into your core. And with every exhale, with each exhale, just drop down and land into your hips, land into your pelvic bowl, and allow yourself to rest in this beautiful ocean of light and love and compassion. And continue with that. Hold yourself in that space. I'm going to read from The Answer is Love, questions to explore as we transition into an era of peace, because we are transitioning. And the beauty of it is, as we are transitioning, more and more of those things in our world that are out of alignment with peace and universal harmony and unconditional love are being illuminated. And on one hand, they get harder to be with and to witness. On the other hand, they're really drawing us closer and closer into our own truth. So the question is written, nobody understands me. I feel like I don't fit anywhere. Am I really supposed to be here? The response is, beloved, you belong more than those who go along with the status quo, following ways of the world, out of alignment with truth, not questioning. You question because you realize the ways of the world, the choices of the masses are out of harmony with the laws of natural existence. If more people questioned, they would feel the same way. Just because a choice is popular or widely accepted in a society does not make it right. In many cases, in most cases, it is not right. Be present with the questions in your heart. Listen with your inner ear. It is telling you what your heart knows about the right way for you to live in harmony with the earth, with your truth, and with me. Be true to this, not the status quo. Be with me, not the misguided masses. I will never leave you. They will, and they will guide you to pain, suffering, and sickness. I will always be with you, guiding you to inner peace and love, home to your sacred self where you can rest in truth of your divine existence, where you can know purpose and success and fulfillment and true joy. This is the reality I want for us. This is harmony, peace, and unity. Know us to know love. Unconditional, everlasting, eternal love. So take a deep breath and let that permeate into your being and into your cells in whatever way and however much of it wants to resonate with you. I will say, in the grand scheme of things, in the divine orchestration, everything is in perfection. Everything has its divine order and flow and timing and divine orchestration. So there is, on the grand scheme of things, perfection in all, and on the microcosmic level of your own being, and the macrocosmic of our world, our planet. There is a divine timing and order where this inner knowing awakens and screams out really loud and says, get it right, come home, align, or we will all be going out. And what does going out mean? I mean, that in and of itself is just shifting consciousness. But we don't need to go there right now. Let's be with aligning with the truth in your own being. So first, the voice that calls you to your truth, the voice of wisdom. Let's just make your intention to tune into that voice of wisdom. The inner voice that calls you to align with what you know inside yourself to be true. The divine name for wisdom is Hakim. And to invoke this divine name or this vibration of that inner voice, that divine wisdom that is contained within you, lives within you, and calls you home to yourself, we say, Ya Hakim. That's spelled Hakim, as in Mary. Hakim. Ya Hakim. That's the transliteration. Ya Hakim. And I invite you in this moment, as we invoke Ya Hakim, to listen to the voice inside of yourself. We've identified the voices that say that there's something wrong with me, that I don't fit in this world, that I don't belong here because the world is crazy, insane, cruel, inhumane. We've identified those voices. So breathe into those voices, that space. If you can identify where that lives in your body or in your heart, then go with that. But in any case, just kind of feel how you feel with that. And if it feels safe for you, just let yourself lean into that. Lean into that and let it take you a layer deeper into the part of you that says, here's what's true. Here is what's real. Here is what's right. Here is what's needed. Okay, so let yourself lean in and pass through the voices that say there's something wrong, and tune into the inner voice that says, here's what's right and here's what is needed. And let yourself drop in and listen with the inner ear, the ear of your heart, to those voices. Ya Hakim, Ya Hakim. And reading from Fauzia's book, Divine Names, 99 Healing Names of the One Love. Hakim is the all-wise. Wise people are those who deal with things in the appropriate manner. Their words and deeds are in harmony, uninfluenced, not influenced by current trends or fashions, free from their own impulses and moods. This divine name manifests the knowledge of true and authentic deeds. Al-Hakim is the source of all wisdom. Wisdom means to bring about unity in our spirit, unity and love for the One, our source of all that is, and love for all of humankind. To be wise means to carry love and unity in our heart and spirit, to speak to all human beings in their language, to be able to carry out our duties and functions while remaining connected with the truth inside. And she's speaking of humans here, and I know from being with her or receiving her teachings and reading from her books that this extends to beyond just the humankind and to all of life on the planet. All of life, all of nature. So calling on Ya Hakim, and listen to the voice inside of yourself that says, this is what's true. This is what's real. This is what's needed. And if you have a pen and paper, you can even write down, begin to write what is true. What is the inner voice speaking to you? And I'm going to give you a little bit of silence. And if you're listening to the recording, you could even pause and get pen and paper and make notes of what is coming through that inner voice. Oh, be in that space while I offer. I'll stop talking. Ya Hakim, Ya Hakim, Ya Hakim, Ya Hakim. And because this is recorded and goes on the podcast, I don't want to leave too much of air silence there. But you can always go back and listen to the recording and pause this. And if you're listening to the recording, you can pause and give yourself more time and then come back and continue. Ya Hakim. So let this, as this light comes in and shines on this, your deep heart, your inner knowing, your wisdom, let the ear of your heart listen to the inner voice of wisdom within you. What is true, what is needed. What is true, what is needed. And then let's call on the divine truth. Al-Haq. Al-Haq. Let's call on the divine truth, Yah Hak, and let this vibration of divine truth come into that space in your heart, in your mind, in your body, wherever that shows up for you as that truth that you feel and that you know in your being. It may even be in your gut, that gut instinct. And let this truth, vibration of truth, come in and wash, like permeate your being with this vibration of Al-Haq, the divine truth, and it will awaken and enliven the truth within you. It is like tapping that tuning fork. When you tap one tuning fork and you put it close to another tuning fork, that other tuning fork will begin to resonate and vibrate with the same frequency. So we are tapping that tuning fork by calling Yah Hak and putting that into your inner being so that the truth, the divine truth within you, will awaken and begin to resonate and vibrate through you, awakening you to the truth within, strengthening that truth within, enlivening that truth within so it resonates throughout all of your being. So Yah Hak, just let that truth resonate from your core and let it like reverberate out and permeate into all of your cells. Yah Hak, awakening the truth of the consciousness that lives within every cell of your being. Yah Hak. Yah Hak. Yah Hak. Yah Hak. Yah Hakim, the wisdom. Yah Hak, the truth. 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 And Al-Haq, again, reading from Rosina Fawzia Al-Rawi's book, Divine Names, 99 Healing Names of the One Love. Al-Haq is the true reality, the true one, the real one. Al-Haq contains the deep surrender to God, to nature, and to all things around you. This name is mostly recited in solitude, away from outside distractions. That which is behind reality, the perceived reality, is the capital R reality, Al-Haq, the truth. He is the one to whom all divine qualities can be ascribed. It is the commencement that has no beginning and the end that has no ending. Allah, the one, the source of all that is Al-Haq. It is his essence, qualities, and deeds manifested through the light of majesty and divine beauty. He is the truthfulness from which everything takes its truth. Yah Haq. Yah Haq. Let this awaken from within you. Let it enliven. Let it intensify in its vibration. And invite the consciousness of all of the parts of yourself is to turn and to face this resonance of Al-Haq. Al-Haq. And invite them is to begin to resonate with Al-Haq. Al-Haq. And let Al-Haq permeate all the parts of yourselves and all of the inner voices. And let it help them to align, help them to transmute, to transform, to wash, to cleanse. All the parts of yourself to be purified, to be illuminated, to become conscious and align with Al-Haq, the divine truth, the truth of the capital R reality that extends beyond the realm of our perceptions and our physical existence. Ya Haq, Ya Haq, Ya Haq. And if you recite these divine names in their sacred sound codes of these names will resonate in your being. The significance, if you haven't been here before, the significance of the sacred sound codes is that when they are spoken, the vibrations that are created, the frequencies that are created by speaking these names resonate at the same frequency of the energy of the things that they name, that they call in. So they're used to invoke these frequencies and to invoke these energies and to awaken that which exists within you so that your inner wisdom, that sacred knowledge within you, will awaken and enliven and intensify and strengthen and permeate into your consciousness so that you truly can be the change you wish to see in the world. And this is truly that part of you that knows what real, knows how this world ought to be, to live in peace and love and harmony. That universal harmony that we aspire to. Your being knows that inside. So let this be awakened. Ya Hakim. You say this inside of yourself. Let it vibrate through your fluid systems and through your tissues and awaken that truth that lives within your consciousness that was breathed into you, that's a part of your life force energy. The poet Rumi says, you are not a drop in the ocean, you are the ocean in a drop. Your drop of ocean contains all of the knowledge and wisdom of the entire ocean within you. And what you are is ocean. So all of the meanings of all of these vibrations are contained within you. All of these frequencies, along with what they mean in the capital R reality, exist within you. So when you allow these vibrations to resonate through your systems and through your fluids and through your tissues and through your subtle body, your energy body, it awakens your consciousness to Al-Haq, the truth, Al-Hakim, the wisdom, An-Nur, the light, Al-Wadud, the love, Ar-Rahman, the compassion. So let this, along with your intention, the intention and the desire from your deep heart to live in truth, aligned with wisdom, in harmony with the capital N nature, the natural existence, the true natural existence. Not the human altered existence, but the natural existence. Let this awaken within you and let it align you Let it align you with the wisdom that comes from within. Ya Hakim, Ya Haq. 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 And a full breath, and let yourself drop in and settle into your body. And let's call on one more divine name, and that is the divine name of Ya Aziz. 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 And Aziz is the strength. Ya Aziz. Ya is that invocation. It means, oh, Aziz, the strength, the divine strength to help you to really hold this alignment within you. Ya Aziz. To hold that alignment and adhere to the strength from within you. To release any need for anyone to approve, or any part of you that fears that others won't approve, that fears ridicule or fears not belonging, not going along, that fears rejection, that fears being an outcast. Just let Aziz just wash all of those places and align you with your own inner strength that holds firmly to the truth of the wisdom within you, the wisdom of the real. Ya Aziz, 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 Ya Aziz. I feel like that one needs a little bit more. So let's, and you can say that within yourself. It's the Z's, Z-I-Z, Aziz, like A-Z-I-Z, and there's a little bit of a at the beginning of it, like Aziz, 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 Aziz. Feel that in your belly, like along your spine and in your belly. I think those are the places where we go into wobble when this Aziz is dormant, or when the voices and the fears are stronger than our connection to the voices and fears, let me say, is stronger than our connection to the wisdom and the truth inside. Those are the places in our bodies that can go into wobble along the spine and in the belly. So let this Aziz vibrate along your spine and vibrate in your belly and in your hips. Aziz, and let yourself just feel your alignment and your connection and your presence in your spine and in your pelvic bowl, in your hips and in your belly. Aziz, Aziz, Aziz. And feel that wobble just dissipate out of your body, and feel yourself strongly, like firmly planted and connected in your pelvis, in your hips, and along your spine. Ya Aziz, 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 Ya Hakim, the wisdom, Ya Haq, the truth, Ya Aziz, the strength, Ya Hakim, the wisdom, Ya Haq, the truth, Ya Aziz, the strength, Ya Hakim, the wisdom, Ya Haq, the truth, Ya Aziz, the strength, Ya Hakim, Ya Haq, Ya Aziz, 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 Ya Hakim, Ya Haq, Ya Aziz. Now I invite you, like your heart-centered conscious body, to just take this moment and speak to all of the parts of yourself, all of the various parts of yourself, and just state for them a commitment, if you can feel a firm commitment inside of yourself, a commitment to live in a way that honors the inner wisdom, the inner knowing of truth, the truth of the reality of our existence, and as best you can, to hold this with the divine strength inside of yourself, to live in love and compassion and in harmony, universal harmony with all of existence as best you can, and we're all on a journey in progress. Just make that commitment to the journey. Make that commitment to all of the parts of yourself and ask for their cooperation on the journey. Invite them to join you. Invite them to say yes. Ya Hakim, Ya Haq, Ya Aziz, Ya Hakim, Ya Haq, Ya Aziz, Ya Hakim, Ya Haq, Ya Aziz, Ya Hakim, Ya Haq, Ya Aziz. Okay, and I invite you to sit with that while I wrap up this portion of the call, and then I'll open for Q&A or sharing, discussion, whatever you'd like. For those of you listening to the recording, you're invited to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. You can find information for joining the calls live at communityforconsciousliving.com. You don't need to sign up for our reminders in order to join us live, but please mark it on your calendar and remember to be here. And if you'd like to receive reminders and links to replays, sign up while you're there. There you'll see a form to sign up, and I'll send you a free gift to help you to get started on this journey or continue on the journey that you're on and live more closely aligned with your inner wisdom, your inner truth, the commitment that you have inside of yourself to universal harmony and sustainability and peace. What you will receive is a one-sheet that you can print out to remind you of the truth of who and what you are and what this earth journey is about and why we're here. And it comes also with a 16-minute guided meditation to help you to align with the love and the light and the compassion inside of yourself. Make that a part of your daily practice, a daily meditation practice, to help you to just remember and remember and remember and remember until your inner being does not forget, and you can live in more light, more love, more harmony with all of the existence within you and around you. Okay, and with that, I thank you very much, and I'm going to open for the Q&A.